Holy Spirit. Amen.
Can you remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance? And tonight we have a special person that's going to do this by the name of Jim Armstrong. He is a veteran, and we had coffee the other morning with a whole lot of veterans, and he said, well, if I can get out there, I'll make it. So I am so glad that you made it here today to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Right to the podium, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
If you could join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to the greatest country in the world.
Yes.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. You may be seated. Okay. We will have the clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Archibald?
Here.
Councilmember Haremza?
Here.
Councilmember Lamb?
Here.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Here.
Councilmember Payton?
Here.
Councilmember Pemberton? Mayor Ashford?
Present. Members, you have before you the meetings from October 27th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It's moved by Mayor
Support.
Pro Tem Archibald and supported by Councilmember Mosrak. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Item D.
Proclamation proclaiming November 19th, 2025 as Community Pay It Forward Day in the city of Port Huron.
Yes, accepting the proclamation will be Patrick. Is he still here? Oh, okay.
Good, how are you?
Great. I woke up this morning.
Amen.
Okay, this is a proclamation being given to Patrick from VW Rock. And it states as follows. Whereas the city of Port Huron recognizes the power of kindness, generosity, and community spirit as essential values that strengthen the bonds among neighbors, families, and local organizations. And whereas Community Pay It Forward Day, let me say that again, whereas Community Pay It Forward Day encourage residents to perform acts of kindness, large or small, that inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of goodwill throughout our community. And whereas Port Huron is home to countless individuals, businesses, faith community, and nonprofit organizations such as the Blue Water Recovery and Outreach Center, short for BROC, that work tirelessly to support one another and uplift those in need. And whereas the collective actions of residents paying it forward, whether by volunteering, donating, mentoring, or simply offering a helping hand, reflects the true spirit of Port Huron and reminds us that small acts can lead to lasting changes. And whereas this day serves as an opportunity to celebrate compassion, encourage civic pride, and inspire continued community engagement across generations. Now, therefore, I, Anita R. Ashford, by the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Port Huron, and on behalf of council members Archibald, Haremza, Lamb, Mosrak, Payton, and Pemberton, do hereby proclaim November the 19th, 2025 to be Community Pay It Forward Day in the city of Port Huron, and encourage all our residents, schools, businesses, and organizations to participate in activities that promote kindness, generosity, and community spirit. In witness whereof, I do hereby set my hand and cause the corporate seal of the city of Port Huron to be affixed this 10th day of November 2025. To God be the glory. Thank you.
Amen.
Okay, would you like to have a few words?
Well, I think you said it all, so. I had something to say, but it would be repeating what you just said, so.
No, it won't be repeated. You can make it short.
Well, that's hard to do sometimes.
It is, but you know, whether it's a thank you, and that's a short thing of kindness.
Sure. My name's Patrick Patterson, Executive Director of the Blue Water Recovery and Outreach Center. Don't go anywhere, we have to take a picture. Council members, city manager, mayor, we appreciate you. I love our community. I embrace our community. We thank you for proclaiming Community Pay It Forward Day on November 19th, when our churches, local businesses, and neighbors can unite for this idea to pay it forward. It serves as the counterweight to division and creates a ripple effect that strengthens the very foundation of our city. So tonight our challenge is this, to pay it forward, not because it's a holiday or a headline, but because kindness is the right thing to do, and together we can make compassion our currency and let generosity define who we are as a community. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And those letters are your invites to our banquet. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, next we have.
Presentation from the Port Huron Beautification Commission.
Good evening, council members and fellow citizens of Port Huron. My name is Stephanie Romales, and I'm the president of the Beautification Commission that was created by the Port Huron City Council on October 28, 1985. Our mission is to enhance and maintain the natural beauty of the city of Port Huron, and we help foster citizen pride by developing programs, projects, and recognizing citizens whose yards show how beautiful Port Huron can be. I'm standing here because per our bylaws, the commission is to provide a report to the council at least once annually to outline our past activities for the year and what we have coming up. But before I share that information, I would like to introduce the members of the council from this year. Diana Horn, Laura Luttrell, Kathy Hall, Donna Kelly, Mary Jo Edson, Julia Price, Joe Jenkins, Kathleen Koss, and our newest member, Aaron Kreiner. They've really helped us out this year, and I'm very proud of what they've done. Now our report. The commission currently maintains flower beds at approximately 12 locations throughout the city, and most of those areas have multiple beds. The city council annually gives us $3,300 to assist with our job, and we have greatly appreciated it. With that funds this year, even though Lincoln Park we gave back to the city, we did donate and put flowers in the park in 5 of their flower beds with the help of Port Huron's Key Club. We were able to weed, edge, and plant and mulch. The commission also worked on their own beds of weeding, planting, and mulching of 23 different beds in the city. Last year's new member, Catherine Koss, also decided to renovate the riverbed next to the stairs in Pine Grove Park. She's hoping to begin replanting this year. Our commission also recognized over 70 residents and their yards by sending out note cards showing our appreciation for their efforts. And finally, every year the committee votes to recognize a person who goes above and beyond to help beautify this city. And we use the Steve Revnick Award for that. It is a large plaque. This one. Wow. You will see it hanging outside the city clerk's office, and every year we invite or we vote on one person that we think has made a huge difference and add their name to this plaque. This year, it was Kathleen Koss. So Kathleen. Kathleen shares her time here with her home in Oxford. It doesn't really stop her from making a huge difference in this city. She has not only worked with us and taken over that riverbed, which if you've ever worked with mugwort, you know it's a pain. But she's also making a difference downtown. She helped oversee all the gardens and the flower baskets. And when we ended up with excess flowers, she ended up planting those also downtown to help make it look beautiful. You often could see her watering and weeding down there. So we've added that name to the plaque so that we can remember how well you've worked for us. Thank you, Kathleen. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, council members, Mayor Ashford, Mr. Freed. I have certainly enjoyed every minute of this. I was so surprised to hear I was going to receive this award, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of this city, even though it was a lot of hours. I finally turned it into our Master Gardener website, and I had 190 hours between May through October. But I love this city so much, and I want to continue beautifying it, which was Mr. Revnick's whole mission in life. He loved flowers, he loved this city, and I hope I can continue to move it forward for him. And I hope you as well support both the commission and the DDA to continue to beautify and revitalize this city, because it is a gem that we all love. So, thank you.
Thank you, and again, congratulations. Now we'll move on to our next presentation.
Presentation on the Discovery City Children's Museum.
Mayor and Council, thank you for the opportunity to present before you tonight. On October 15th, the Discovery City Children's Museum, which is an arm of our Recreation Department, celebrated 1 year in the downtown location at the Knowlton Ice Museum. So I thought it was important to get in front of Council, share with you what's happened over the inaugural year. I have with me here Katie Gardner, our Recreation Supervisor, and Don Schweihofer, our Museum Director, to go over some statistics with you and share with you what has been happening at the Knowlton Ice location. Before I do that, before I turn it over, I just want to give a few thanks myself to the entire museum staff. I don't know if you all have been down there taking children or grandchildren through an incredible staff at the leadership of Dawn. Renee Lasher, our recreation coordinator, that has worked with this team as well. Really the entire recreation department, Brittany, Alyssa, that have done the marketing. Building brand recognition, name recognition from the ground up is no easy task, so they certainly deserve a little shout out there. Ben Pionk and Jason Kuhlman as well from our parks team. They have helped with exhibit build out, build up, move arounds all within the museum. Them and their crew deserve some recognition as well. McMorrin and Rob Churchill, his theater team, has helped with a lot of technician pieces that have happened inside the museum with a few of the exhibits. I wanted to thank them, as well as City Manager Freed for your support, and of course, the entire council. Thank you for your support of the Children's Museum, and we look forward to continue building on an incredible first year. So with that, I'll turn it over to Katie and Don.
Thank you. She stole my thunder. It's totally fine. I would just like to reiterate really everything that Cynthia said. It's amazing to be a part of such a great team. The greater city departments as well. It's been so awesome to be a part of the museum and just see how everybody really has been getting back to bare roots with us and helping us power through and really build this museum from the ground up. I would also like to take the time tonight to thank the mayor and council as well for your continued and unwavering support. Our museum just wouldn't be what it is without that, so we truly do appreciate it. And I would also like to introduce Mrs. Dawn Schweihofer. She has been an absolute godsend to us at the museum. She's prepared this little presentation for you tonight, and I'm sure you will see her passion shine through in that. With that said, Dawn, take it away.
Okay, I'm going to keep it under control just a little. I am Dawn Schweifer, and the person lucky enough to be the director at Discovery City Children's Museum. It is, as the video is playing, it is absolutely a passion project for this entire city. I just brought a few statistics to share that show the impact beyond just doing what we love and seeing kids play. It's the opportunity for children to have hands-on, minds-on opportunities to problem solve, to do all of the things that they might not have the chance to do in their regular structured lives, between school and homework and soccer practice and all of the things. We just really appreciate offering the space for them to grow and learn and struggle and grow from that. So, super excited. Here's some impact for what we have had from our first year. This first year, we have welcomed more than 21,000 children and families, which includes 2,000 students on field trips from schools in multiple counties, not just St. Clair County. We were able to serve almost 6,000 low-income guests through our Museums for All program. That program is sponsored and duly funded by our dear friend Donna Neester, who without her, a big chunk of this would never have happened. Those numbers and those visitors do not even include the 975 guests that we are lucky enough to call members at the museum. Members have the opportunity to visit as often as they would like for the duration of their year-long membership. And you can ask Mr. Freed and Annie and Lucy. We love our members. We love having them there all the time. One perk of being a member is that you can come for a half an hour on your way home from the grocery store before you have to go cook dinner or anything. It's a wonderful opportunity to have members at our museum. Some fun facts about the guests that we have had. 25% of them come from the city of Port Huron. Just 25% of that 21,000 and another 900 and some members. 27% of guests and memberships come from the surrounding area, Fort Gratiot Township, Port Huron Township, Kimball, Smiths Creek, Clyde Township, and Birchville Township, which leaves approximately 48% of our guests and members come from outside of our area, almost 50%. That is huge. 30% of them come from over 30 miles away, which means that we've only just begun. We've only just started to get out there and to start getting our name out there and recognition. We have so many people walk through the door that say, oh, we heard this place, or my friend said that, which means we are not only a huge economic driver for the city, but a really cool feather in the cap of Port Huron to be a very family-friendly place to come and visit. Just a few, I'll go really quick. Local partners, families, organizations that have helped us deliver this. All of these local organizations just reiterate to us that the museum is important to our city. We have Eastern Michigan Bank, Blue Water Parent, TMA Electric, Summit Management, Landmark Academy, Union Properties, Megan Simmons and Emily Vinkier, both from State Farm, Sam's Club, Sign Realty, Casey's Pizza, All-Star Services, Athletic Factory, Blue Water Developmental Housing, Amanda Dickinson with Allstate, the Dance Academy, the Freed Family, Duff Fitness, Radio First, Dots at the Wrigley Center, and 3 more that have already signed on to be support sponsors for next year. So this space that we have all created, like everyone has said, this is not an us thing, this is an everyone thing, is just, it's an amazing place to be. So we are super excited to share with you what we've done in the first year and cannot wait until next year till we can put up even bigger numbers and show you even more growth and excitement with the year to come. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Great job, ladies. Okay, that concludes our presentations for this evening. Now we come to the part where public comment, and let me read this so we all be on the same page and in order. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the city council on any agenda item or any matter under the city's jurisdiction, now is the time to do so. You are allotted 1 4-minute opportunity to make your comments. Please begin your comments by stating your name and address for the record. Good evening, Mr. Harris.
1521 Wells Street, Fort York, Michigan. Please excuse me, I'm kind of during a recovery period right now.
Oh, okay.
But let me draw your attention to Resolution 2 tonight.
Okay.
It's all about freedom of speech. Don't let anybody fool you. We're talking about freedom of speech tonight. Everyone is supposed to have the protection that damages our protections that are covered under the Constitution of the United States. We don't have that here. Local history demonstrates that when you cross the imaginary line in the city of Port Huron, now we'll have a resolution chairperson who can do things with unfettered authority. Knock, knock again. In this speech patrol, knock, knock again is basically that's somebody knocking at your door. It's going to be the speech patrol for the city of Port Huron giving you a warrant for ad horum look during any of these council meetings. You know, it's already demonstrated. We have 2 people over the years that I've been watching council who have been arrested or are charged with an activity which affects what they did. Now let's look at the Michigan Attorney General's opinion on some of this. You know, in your proposal on these things here, it said that in there that non-residents will have a public audience separate from the city of Port Huron things. Well, basically it says here is that the results can be non-residents are segregated to a different time of meetings, an Attorney General's decision. No public body generally cannot segregate non-residents to a different time for open meetings. The Open Meetings Act, which governs public meetings in Michigan, requires that all meetings of public bodies must be open to the public, and the term public means residents and non-residents. So I think that justifies one of them. The next thing is the city has a requirement that you have to sign a petition within 30 minutes of these council meetings, 30 minutes prior to the council meeting. Well, the Attorney General addresses it here. It says, no, a city cannot force you to sign a request to speak within 30 minutes of a meeting under the Michigan Open Meetings Act, because the act prohibits requiring a person to register or provide information as a condition of attendance. While the city can set rules for public comment, including you to sign up, these rules must not violate the public's right to speak and prevent their attendance. Reasonable. The rules, like providing your name must be reasonable and should not deny the right of comments altogether. For an example, the city cannot set a total time limit of 30 minutes for public comments. You know, I've been in Port Huron here for probably too damn long. But anyways, I have no idea going anyplace else. It's a place I've put a lot of money into, my home and stuff, and my neighborhood and stuff, and I was proud of it. It was a neighborhood that was built on nationalities. It was a German-Russian neighborhood, and they fought for everything like this. And I hate like hell to see somebody take my freedoms away. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'd just like to ask you, kind of go low on that. I know behaviors and you get excited, but we're just up here to respectfully listen to the people that are presenting, okay? So thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Alan Jowett at 708 17th Street. Good evening, Mayor, City Manager James Freed, and all our council members. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak this evening. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge Cindy, our city clerk, for her dedication in maintaining integrity and transparency in the voting process that she just received an award for. Our office deals with your office almost daily. Your staff in your office has been nothing but professional, kind, very helpful, and extremely, extremely polite. And please pass that on to them. I don't tell them every day because I'm always in a hurry. But please tell them, okay? Great job and congratulations on your.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank James Freed for taking the initiative, for taking care of Lapeer Avenue from 16th Street to 24th Street. I can't thank him enough for what he's done. They're doing a great job. Body Construction have been more than helpful in the last 6 months that our road has been ripped up. They've been very accommodating to our funeral business to help us if we need something. They're there. Never a problem, never an issue. But I want to thank James because if it wasn't for him, none of this would be happening. And I certainly do appreciate that very much. The only thing I want to request is on Lapeer Avenue, I took a ride down there a couple times yesterday, and there's like maybe 10 street pole lights, and that are pretty heavily rusted, damaged. Cars have hit them, and we've got such a beautiful road in there, beautiful curbs, nice big sidewalks, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And then we have these 10 or 12 street pole lights that need a little work on. So if we could look into that, I would appreciate it, because you've done such a beautiful job. And then we have to look at the old lights. So thank you again, and James, thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Dawes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Curtis Carl, Port Huron Township. I work at 2401 16th Street. You'll hear the relevance of that shortly. Thank you for setting the trees free. I know it's not much, but I do notice when you guys do things that I ask. So yeah, the trees are getting untethered, and so thank you for that. Shout out to the city of Port Huron's MOC maintenance staff here at this building for fixing the lights above us. I don't know if you guys noticed they were flickering last meeting, but they do good work, and I don't think I'd want to go up there. So thanks to them guys. All you guys, thank you for getting back to me via email or phone call or whatnot. That means a lot to me, that I wasn't ignored, and that we're hoping to get a little resolution to what we'll speak about here shortly. Now, the Children's Discovery Museum. Not much thanks to the Knowlton family. I heard their name mentioned a few times. If you were the grandson of Agnes and Mickey Knowlton, you'd be taken back by the inside of that building and the walls that I just seen in that video. They placed all the artifacts in that building with their hands, their minds, everything. It'll never be the same to me. I don't think all that stuff will be placed back there with their hands. They are no longer available. It really hurts. I have grandchildren. I'd like to take them there, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. I wish that whole children's discovery thing could have went into another location. Wrigley Center. I don't see much use of that place, but it was big enough to house this. I just can't say enough how this hurts me. And when I brought it up before, months and months ago, and James and I had a little discussion about it, Randy Myers, and how he said he had contacted the family and they were all on board with this, and none of that was true because I'm the family, and I spoke with my family. And so when I called them out on that after the meeting, I was told to go back to my township. I feel that my voice is not wanting to be heard here with a statement like that, and then now to see public comments going to be limited to taxpayers. Or no, we're going to, not quite taxpayers, but you said that the change of the council rules of procedure will appear on the next regular meeting agenda. The change you wrote is to give greater prominence and priority to local residents and taxpayers during public comment period. You guys take 0.5% of tax out of my check. I will gladly wait to the last end of the meeting or not speak at all. Just stop taking the money out of my check or tell me that it's okay to stop giving you guys money. But if you're going to take money out of my check, I want my voice to be heard. And I want it to be heard the same as a homeowner or whatever. We're taxpayers. You can say my 0.5% ain't nothing, or it doesn't warrant me to come up here when homeowners are up here. Then stop taking my money. I care about the city like everybody else. I was born in the city. Might not have been raised in the city, but I'm back here and I enjoy it. I do. I travel the roads. I think my company pays their fair share of taxes. I can ask my boss if you want to question any of that, but my voice should be heard. If I have to come as a representative of our business, I don't think we can swing it that way. You're going to work around letting my voice be heard. So I'm excited to hear what everybody else has to say here, but freedom of speech seems like it's just going to get ripped right out from underneath us. And everything Ken said, I like it. Ain't got much more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Mr. Freed, City Council members. My name's Steve Fernandez. I currently live and reside at 310 Huron Avenue, which is also a mixed commercial use property. There's 3 office spaces, suite 1, 2, and 3, where there's commercial, there's businesses operating out of. And then obviously the home on the ground floor where retail belongs is the home of Country Style Market. Now, I'm here today to talk about a meeting that was held last Tuesday, November 4th at 6 p.m. from the Planning Commission regarding a special use permit to allow real estate office into the pedestrian retail overlay district. Now, for about 100 years, offices have been trying to move into the downtown corridor, and the city fathers from way back recognized that that was not going to be conducive to having a vibrant downtown. When I attended this meeting, I asked the commission what was the current date of the master plan that they were operating off of. And through a little bit of confusion and some research, I guess the current plan expired some time ago, 2018, I think, or it's been a while. Anyway, a new plan is currently under review, okay? And during that meeting, it was brought up that there's been a public comment in hearings on the south side of town and on the north side of town, but we've yet to have a planning commission meeting with the stakeholders from the downtown area. Now, the reason I want to bring this up, I'm going to give you some background real quick. From 2010 to as recent as 2019, the downtown was falling apart. Building after building was crumbling or empty. And through the efforts of Mayor Rep, Mr. Freed, Dan Casey from the EDA, Jeff Bohm from St. Clair County, and a lot of city major businesses, McLaren, the Visitor and Convention Bureau, all these people were supporting revitalization of our downtown and to rehab everything so we could get people back living downtown, working and shopping. Fast forward to today, this city plan is still in the works of being updated, but there's yet to be a review with the stakeholders for downtown. So the voices that were missing in opposition to putting an office in downtown last week, there's no intake coming from the Visitor and Convention Bureau, SC4, the Blue Water Chamber, and think about these other stakeholders. These are people that have to sell this town on a continuous basis to draw conventions here. SC4 is trying to draw tournaments here. You have Silver Sticks that host international events here in this town. And you also have the Prowlers that they've just upped their game, and they're bringing all kinds of great competition and entertainment to this town. But if you don't have a city master plan that has the input from these vested stakeholders or the building owners who live downtown, then how can we be recklessly charging to a bad outcome with putting offices in where retail space should be? It's going to be hard as heck for the Visitor and Convention Bureau or the Chamber or anybody else to tout how great and what a vibrant city we are when on every night at 6 o'clock, the lights turn off to all the offices, and on the weekends, they're closed.
I'm sorry, your time is up.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we need help with this.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Jody Parman, 1425 Pleasant Place, Port Huron. Oh, let's see. So I want to talk about the idea of banning visuals and props at these meetings. To share my message clearly, I brought a prop and a visual. I am a local artist, and I process the world differently than most people. I think in terms of images. And speaking of being wired differently, I have a son who has autism. This prop here, this is his education so far. This is all the challenges I've had with our local education system. Something that is just not made for neurodiverse people, right? That's what this is. And I can't explain all this in 4 minutes. But having it here, showing you the weight of it, kind of drives home how long that road has been with him. And it is important for me to communicate this way because this is how I communicate. This is a piece of art that I did that talks about how he comes home from school broken every day, living in this world that is just not made for him. So this idea that you are going to ban props and visuals muzzles, it quiets us people who need them to communicate. Because can I tell you this story without these things in 4 minutes or less? I absolutely can't. And I represent a part of this population that needs these things to feel heard, to make my point understood. So don't ban us with these things. We are weird and we are wonderful and we add color to your world. So the idea that you want to quiet us to make your meetings move smoother, that's not fair. We are part of your community. Don't quiet us.
Thank you.
Rachel Farquhar, 19th Ave. I'm not talking about chickens today. Limiting public comments before agenda items to residents and business owners is unconstitutional and leaves the city open to lawsuits. The U.S. Supreme Court in City of Madison Joint School District v. WERC ruled that the government cannot exclude non-residents from speaking on public business. Once a city opens a public forum, it cannot restrict participation based on who you are or where you live. Likewise, banning profane language is also legally risky. Under Cohan v. California, the Supreme Court held that the government cannot punish or silence someone just for using offensive words, as that is still protected speech. These kinds of content-based and speaker-based restrictions violate the First Amendment and could cost the city in court. It is illegal to require anyone, regardless where they live, to give their name or address to participate in a public meeting, which is Michigan Compiled Laws, Section 15.263. While I understand that the verbiage does not specifically say that costumes are not allowed, comments that Mr. Freed made to the Times-Herald regarding decorum while mentioning puppets, props, and costumes as a part of the lack of decorum, along with the verbiage in the procedure changes, which start at page 40 of the packet, cause us concern. That concern is that individuals such as Trash the Clown will not be picked to speak if they are dressed in a manner not considered in line with business decorum. If this isn't the case, we would like it clarified for the record that no such discrimination will take place. I have no problem with a sign-up sheet, and I can agree with non-agenda items being moved to the end. But as this resolution sits now, I ask you to vote it down.
Thank you.
You missed me, didn't you? Decorum, let's talk about it.
Excuse me, can you?
Oh yeah, Trash the Clown, 3565 24th Street, the dumpster. I'm hoping you guys were supposed to call me today to set up the walkthrough, but I never got the call. I wonder why. Anyways, let's talk about decorum. Instead of going out after the free speech of the people who you serve and trying to dictate how they present themselves, how they speak, let's talk about the decorum of those of you in the seats. I think it breaks decorum when you get in a hissy fit and walk out of the meeting. I think that's more of a breaking of decorum than this. It's sad that we're talking about this, honestly. Like, going after free speech, it doesn't make us look weak. It makes you look weak, honestly. And you should be embarrassed even talking about it. Now, I heard through the grapevine that someone was talking about where I, Trash the Clown, live, where I sleep and where I poop, which is creepy because I haven't disclosed that to anyone, but one of you knows where I live, and it is technically in the township. I'm sorry. I could throw a rock and still get into Port Huron. That's how close. It's just right across the street on 24th Street. But here's the thing. Port Huron is the city that I serve. Port Huron is the city where I have picked up the dirty needles, where I have picked up the Gatorade bottle with a turd in it, where I have picked up bags upon bags of trash. Port Huron is the city that I've talked about to the news stations and to the reporters about. Port Huron. Port Huron, I love Port Huron. I love it here. I want the very best for it, now and in the future. Going after free speech is weakness, and it is disgusting that it's even being talked about, trying to tell you who can talk and who can't, just based upon where they live. That's ridiculous. We all are from different areas and stuff. We're all here because we love the city. And I mean, technically, I have an LLC now, and it's based in Port Huron. So whatever. Who cares? The point is y'all need to do better. You need to do better. You look weak. You look sad. And it's pathetic that your citizens have to come here and talk about their free speech. You can do better. I expect better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Crystal Mankey, Beard Street. All right, I'm gonna ask one question. I would like to know what is going on with Officer Tristan Shouty.
Okay, we don't answer questions.
That's just in general. I would like
Okay.
that spoken about, the officer that continuously violates constitutional rights upon the people. And according to Charles Reed, I spoke to him, and he stated that his form of transportation was bicycle, and he couldn't make it to the hearings in Detroit, so his attorney settled the case for him, what he believes was about $25,000. I've spoken to several people who said that Officer Tristan Shouty has beat down their loved ones as well. My incident on March 18, 2025 with Officer Tristan Shouty was not an only incident. This is ongoing, and he keeps getting away with it. Is it because he keeps getting rewarded for it? His tyrant behavior? His tyrant behavior is unacceptable for the people, and we demand action to be taken to not only Officer Tristan Shouty, but every officer that violates the people's rights. The people are the ones suffering, and we are the ones being falsely accused, falsely arrested, and victimized by these officers. And it's all being covered up by higher up officials that we know where that they can get to pull the strings. Look at Officer Thomas Rumley, who showed up to work on May 3rd, 2024, intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of 0.11, well over the legal limit. He is currently still an officer of PHPD. He was arrested and charged with operate while visibly impaired, his original charge being operating while intoxicated. Paid $790 in court fines, personal bond of $500, received 12 months probation. Charged with the misdemeanor. He got credited for time served in jail. He was sentenced on June 27, 2024, and then he filed for an amendment to his probation. He was released off probation January 3rd, terminated from probation successfully. Only did 190 days on probation, slap on the wrist and right back to an officer. No consequences, not like the ones everyone else with connections to the force. The people need to take action and speak up. James Freed needs to be released as city manager for sitting there rewarding their behavior. From what I understand, Shouty received a $12,000 raise after beating up Charles Reed. And members of our city hall members need to be recalled for sitting there allowing James Freed to run our city the way he has. Set them free from their seats. Our system is supposed to protect the life and liberty of the people, but the moral convictions of these officials have changed over the years. Our officials are the people's servants. They're to protect the people. Romans chapter 13, verses 1 through 4. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities has been established by God. Those who oppose authority are resisting God's ordinance and will face judgment. Authorities are God's servants meant to punish wrongdoers and are not to be feared by those who do good. We have to uphold the wrongdoers and hold them accountable all over the board, including our officials. We need not fear these officials because we are doing good. 2 Timothy 2:15, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. Today, let's challenge ourselves to reflect on truth and law and need not be ashamed to handle this truth correctly and hold officials accountable that are wrongdoing our people. We can't have our people fearing who we're supposed to protect us. Our system is made by the people.
Thank you very much.
Aaron Kreiner, 109 Taylor Street. Before I say what I had to say, I just want to encourage everybody to go to the city's website, sign up for the free trees. You're allowed to. There's plenty of trees left. So with that, I just want to piggyback on what people are saying here about the change in the meetings, the fact that we have to sign up 30 minutes before. There's times I've sat here and I didn't feel like I needed to speak until I heard some comments, then I decided to speak. So what do we do then? We can't speak because we didn't sign up for it? Doesn't sound right. And it sounds like court case has already been made that we shouldn't have to sign up 30 minutes before to speak. Whether you're a resident or not, if it's on the city agenda, like it says here in the public comment, you're the one that conducts this meeting. You can decide if we're out of decorum, if you're being out of order, you got the gavel. So if any times somebody's out of order, then you have that right. We don't need to change the way we participate in the public speaking, but with an ordinance. When I seen this the other day, I was pretty shocked. I didn't realize that we needed to change anything. I don't know. I just, I feel we got the clowns over here. If they want to say something about whatever they have to say, they're not out of order. So what's the need for the change? I really don't understand it. And it really irritates me when you violate the First Amendment. If they're not out of line and being out of hand, we have an officer up here. If they get really out of line, he can just escort them out. There's no reason to change this. To me, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, with that, I can't say anything else, but I totally oppose it, except the fact that, like I said, when I first came up here and presented myself, I got my report card today, so I hope everybody votes no on this, because I will be writing this down. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Brian Farquhar, 19th Avenue. Thank you for your service, sir. Let's not forget, tomorrow's Veterans Day, right? If you talk to any veteran, World War II, I'm sure very few of us have ever spoke to a World War I veteran. Well, maybe some of us have. I haven't. Vietnam veterans, Korean War, Desert Storm. They fought for freedom of speech. They fought for the Constitution of the United States of America. For any of you that are confused, that's that flag sitting in front of you right now, the red, white, and blue. That's not Republican, that's not Democrat, that's this country, that's our nation. That's the heartbeat of what makes this world go around, whether a lot of other people like it or not. Militarily, economically, and playing out by leadership some ways, right? I mean, we kind of do things, we expect things done in the world because we do things right here. We have international laws that follow the way we do things in our country because that's right. And we've gone around and decided what's right, right? So now, my question is, and I'll break this down a little more for the other people here. This whole city here works on the hierarchy structure of the people are really at the top. Then it comes to you guys on city council. Then it comes down to Manager Freed. So who implemented this resolution to be put into our thing? Which one of you city council members made this directive for this to be put in? I know nobody's going to answer this question right now, but I believe that it wasn't a council member, which kind of pushes for a weird agenda here, which then crap shoots it all out the door, right? And why does Mr. Freed care how people talk in here? You guys can have this fear and conversation and all the rest of it. Who cares what makeup who wears? I mean, there's at least, we'll go 4 of you up there sitting right now that have makeup on, maybe 5. I don't know. We're not getting thrown out for those, right? Like, so who cares about whatnot? As Mr. Carl said, you guys charge people that work in the city a 0.5%. There was this great big thing that happened way back in the 1700s called the Boston Tea Party. We sure would hate to have the Port Huron Tea Party, wouldn't we? And start throwing people in the river, things in the river. It'd be a real terrible time. Just an analogy, not a threat. So it's absurd that we're going through this. It's absurd that we're going to have this discussion. It's absurd some of you are going to vote yes. And I guarantee some of you are going to just stake the end of your political career if that does happen. The other thing I want to make note is this terrible trash contract that we have. I see I got 58 seconds left. So make everybody on council notice, Mr. Freed, you might be aware of this, but there was a hit and run over on Woodstock and Riverside the other morning. Resident came out to the bumper, ripped off the front of their car. It was parked off the road. I have video of where it was parked. I have video of the incident that happened. And it happened to be a contractor from the city of Port Huron's leaf removal pickup that ripped off the bumper, got out, looked at the damage, got back in their truck, and drove away. Didn't contact police, didn't contact the resident, didn't knock at a door, didn't do the rest of it. So these are the guys that you voted to next year give a raise to, remember. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Natasha Algonac. I was here back in September after I had FOIA'd the conflict of interest statements of James Freed, ethics questionnaire from 2014, and the city's approval of outside employment per Regulation 9-1, when I discovered that Mr. Freed has an outside gig called the Pivot Group, in short, a recruiting firm for municipalities. My FOIA was denied, and it was denied for the reason that no such documents exist. Okay, so I filed an appeal, and again, congratulations, Cindy, but I get this letter from Cindy. Eileen, please find attached city manager's response to your FOIA appeal. I'd like to apologize on behalf of the city. The finance department, I'm looking for ethics questionnaire. The finance department has experienced staff changes over the past couple of years and was initially unable to locate the documents you requested. After conducting an extensive search, the department was able to locate the requested documents, with the exception of the year 2024. Again, the finance department, the budget this year is over $140 million, and you can't keep documents? And where is the document approving the outside employment for James Freed? It says none exists when the Regulation 9-1 says it must be approved by the city. Come on. I threatened to take him to court last time if I didn't get the documents, and poof, the documents appear, except for 2024. So I'm asking you, I don't know if any of you were aware of this, but really, the documents need to be found. Thank you, Cindy, for doing your due diligence, but I will be waiting for those documents. If it wasn't approved, if his outside gig wasn't approved, then say it wasn't approved. But all city business must be documented and has to be in a public meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience?
Hi, I'm Dave Dazer. It's my pleasure to be the site manager of the Thomas Edison Depot Museum, and I'm here to thank the mayor and city manager and council members for the completion of the very badly needed repairs on the south side of the building. As I'm looking at our city seal here, 1857, the depot was built in 1858. Thomas Edison started working there in 1859 till 1863, and it was on a trip to Detroit one day on the train selling things that he saved the station master's son down in Mount Clemens from being killed by a runaway train car. In gratitude, the little boy's dad taught him how to be a telegraph operator, and that event changed his entire life and our entire world. So the depot is very near and dear to me ever since I was a little kid, fascinated with Thomas Edison. The fact that that building survived all those years has just always been special to me, and I'm really grateful that for our 25th anniversary of the depot being open, which will be February next year, 2026, that it's going to look good. So thank you very much. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you all for what you do.
Good evening, Craig Schlinkert, Stone Street. Came here for the First Amendment related problems. First and foremost, as long as we're all understanding the fact that when we're talking about Rogers, that's just like handling your school book club type stuff. There's other options that actually talk about your rights, and you have Jurassic and Mason that you can refer to. I believe it's the state that uses Mason as your book of reference there for parliamentary. Maybe we should use something that goes along with our rights instead of something that's designed for book clubs and such. Beyond that, it was global war on terrorism, by the way, as well, for Brian back there. We didn't serve so you guys could mess with our First Amendment. We just didn't. So keep that in mind when we go forward. And I did want to bring up that those street curb, the stopping devices over by Pine Grove Park that were put in and recently taken back out. I loved them. Thank you for doing that, whoever made the decision. They were great. Please put them back in as early as possible next year. They do stop the traffic through there from doing the wrong thing. Beyond that, we don't need a list. If you want to have the order, you're welcome to it, but no one's required to say their name. The Supreme Court's measured on this. You don't have to do anything like that. You don't have to say where you're from. It's a courtesy that we give you. to go ahead and bring out all of these changes is disrespectful to the constituents, period. You don't get to decide how we talk to you. You don't get to make those decisions. You can try. I wouldn't dare you to. Have a nice night.
Thank you. Kathleen McCready, 414 14th Street. I know you can't answer me, but does anybody remember Anthony America? I think, I looked him up on newspapers.com today, and over his years, he had, I think it was 266 mentions in the Times-Herald. I realize you can't compare today to that because Julian Ruck only had 23 mentions in the Times-Herald over the period of time, but then again, today has social media. Me, I had like 45. So I'm in there somewhere. So that being said, Anthony America would like filibuster. There was no time limits at that time, and he would go on and on and on and on, and I think it was after him that it got changed to the limit of 4 minutes. My perspective is Port Huron is the county seat. We attract a lot of people. We should be open to people that just want to comment, may not remember or understand their lessons of POD. I don't even know if they teach POD anymore, so people may not know the parameters of what we do, what should be said, what shouldn't be said, and I think that we should be tolerant and have the freedom to accept everybody as they are and take some comments, as hard as it may be some nights. Thank you. Thank you.
Florian Maxwell, 1519 Oak Street. I just wanted to say it is so chic how we're keeping classism alive in Port Huron. I know it's easy to look over and go, hey, those weirdos, we're trying to keep them out. And I know some of you felt a little targeted by the possum, but I know this also kind of doesn't just target them. This also targets all the low-income workers who are getting freshly out of work and trying to come here as fast as they can. And this can be very easily a little slippery slope straight into, oh, you're wearing dirty clothes, you need to get out. Oh, you didn't get here on time. Like, sorry, 5 minutes too late from the 30-minute beforehand sign up. That's a little messed up, just gotta say.
Thank you. It's just the start of the meeting.
Brianna Farquhar, 19th Avenue. Tonight there's been a word often used by city council members and residents. That word is community. With the resolution 25-137, you are single-handedly taking the voice of a community out of the city. According to the First Amendment, we have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom how to dress and act how we want to. And I don't think, well, we have Trash the Clown. She wears what she wants. She does what she wants. Why can't everyone just do what they want to do? I know there's laws, there's all the rest of it, but why are we taking the voice out of the community? And this is the community that I want to live in when I'm older. But I don't know if I want to if you take the voice out of this community. Thank you.
Hello, Betty Hall, 2107 Stone Street. This is my second time. I was inspired by Trash the Clown to start coming and speaking about our community. I've lived in the city of Port Huron for 45 years. I love this city. We can do better, all of us. And the community needs to start coming together. Ms. Payton, I want to tell you thank you, because when I was here the first time and I spoke about town hall meetings, I believe you had started to do one. I ended up sick, I didn't get to go, but if you would like to continue those, I'd encourage everybody to do that with you. That would be nice. This freedom of speech thing is kind of crazy. If someone gets out of hand, yeah, throw them out. But if somebody's here just speaking what they need to speak about, it's something important to them, and they want to live here in the city of Port Huron, and not just directly in the city of Port Huron, but the township. They all pay city taxes. They pay income tax out of our checks. So please take what they have to say as part of it too. Because when election time comes up, because I remember, Ms. Ashford, when I was back working in the factories, everybody's like, oh, I hate the city council, nobody does nothing. And I said, well, nobody can do anything without change. You need to vote. So you got voted in. I said, well, maybe we have change. So when the next council comes up and it comes time to vote again, to everybody to be re-voted against, people are gonna look back and say, how did you serve me? You didn't serve me well, or you didn't do this. So I'm going to look for somebody that can do that. So I just hope that we can all come together and start working together.
Amen.
And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to address the Port Huron City Council this evening? Okay, in hearing and seeing none, it's closed. We'll move on with our agenda. We have next, clerk.
City Manager's report and comments.
Madam Mayor and Council, just a few things. We are working with DTE. They own the streetlights on Lapeer. We're under contract with DTE. So we are in discussions with them on replacing those streetlights if it's possible. If it is, it'll be something done next year because they program out. So far, as well as our master plan, we're just beginning the initial phase of our master plan. There will be numerous community engagement sessions before the master plan is brought before the Planning Commission, which will include downtown stakeholders and including our downtown collective event as well. Lastly, with the leaf pickup, please let our police officer be aware of that incident this morning. I am unaware of it until you just mentioned it. So please let us know what that issue was. Hopefully they called and filed a police report as well, so we can follow up on that as well. Also, as for our conflict of interest form, every single year, myself, my department heads, and the city council have properly and legally filed our conflict of interest forms. The conflict of interest forms are sent over to the city attorney for review. The city attorney reviews it to ensure that there is no improper conflict. And then they are sent back to the finance department, which is required by the ordinance that they go to the finance director. All of my disclosures have been properly made. I have full authorization, and the continued lie that somehow I'm doing something unethical or nefarious is just a lie. So that's all I have.
Okay, so thank you for your report and your comments. Next, we will move to our consent agenda, and do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Councilmember Mosrak and supported by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, motion is carried. And these are the following items of vote. Roll call.
Councilmember Huron.
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb.
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak.
Yes.
Councilmember Payton.
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald.
Yes.
Mayor Ashford.
Yes. Under H, communication and petitions, we have one. Receive and file notification that Judy Bush has been appointed by the mayor to the Traffic Study Committee with a term to expire October the 10th, 2027. Under resolutions, we have 4 that are on the consent agenda. The first one is authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Michigan Department of Lifelong Education Advancement and Potential for an administrative grant under the 2026 out-of-school time program to assist with costs of operating the Palmer Park Summer Day Camp in 2026. Resolution number 4, making permanent temporary traffic control order number 1406, which states 26th Street shall stop for Nern Street. Resolution number 5, approving the appointment of Judy Bush to the Beautification Commission to fill a vacancy with a term to expire January 30th, 2028. Resolution number 6, confirming and approving single lot assessments for the cost of an emergency board up for 2815 Walnut Street. Now we will return from the city manager.
Accepting the quote from TMA Electric LLC in the amount of $58,700 for the purchase and installation of a generator for the Elger Harvey Community Center.
Is there a motion? So moved. Moved by Councilmember Lamb and supported by?
Support.
Councilmember Mosrak.
Madam Mayor?
Discussion.
Yep. Madam Mayor, this is for, if you remember when we built the new central fire station, when we built Station 1, the old central fire station, we took that old generator and we paid $25,000 and had it moved to the Palmer Center. So the Palmer Center is now in full emergency backup, so if there's an ice storm or some major event, the Palmer Park Center can be used as a shelter. The new Station number 1 also has full emergency power, so that can be used as a shelter as well. This is for the placement of an emergency generator at the Harvey Center so it can be used for an emergency shelter. Now, it's not the purchase of the generator, it's also the installation and also a lot of electrical work at the Harvey Center. It was originally built to have 4 different suites. It's going to consolidate those switches, run the natural gas, install new switches on it, and then bring in a new generator and install that as well. This will allow us to have 3 possible emergency shelters should we need that. If you look at the population breakup within the city, those 3 different areas would be key. There's about 13,000 people in South Park alone. So this is part of a broader measure. The reason why I'm bringing this to you is TMA is technically already our electrician of record, but because it's just a large item and an unbudgeted item, I wanted you to have your approval on it. I want to get this installed before the winter months. Should we have another ice storm or a major issue this winter, that we are ready for it in that area of the city.
Any questions of the city manager on that?
Mayor Ashford?
Yes.
I would just, thanks to James, I did reach out to him earlier in the week because I questioned the amount and I couldn't realize, but thanks for going through the numbers and not only going through them, but showing me the numbers and how much was involved to come to this amount, because it does seem like a large amount, but I think a warming center, that security at the Harvey Center is very important, so it will definitely have my support. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Madam Mayor, just to give you an example of when we do use the backup centers, the emergency shelters, examples of something as simple as somebody coming in to plug in their nebulizer to take their breathing treatment. We've had that happen. So just, you never know when those events occur, when those, something couldn't get their breathing treatment, something as simple as that.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, hearing none other, roll please.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. All right, resolutions, number 1.
Authorizing 21 payments.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by
Support.
moved by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald and second by Councilmember Lamb. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Resolution number 2.
First notice of proposed amendment to the City Council's Rules of Procedure.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Mosrak. Is there a second?
Support.
It's supported by Councilmember Lamb. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
I'd like to hear from the council members first to see.
I would like to explain the ordinance since I brought it before the council. The rules change.
Okay, you don't want to hear them first?
I'd like to explain
You
it
just
first.
like to explain it so they'll know what to ask?
Yep.
Is that's fair? Okay, go right ahead.
Mr. Shouty, could you come to the podium, please, as well? So first and foremost, I've heard your public comment, and I could agree with about 100% of it. None of us want to discriminate based on content or the way someone's dressed or the visuals. They want to show something to council. So Mr. Shouty, just a few questions here. Is there anything within our proposed rules changes which would discriminate based on someone's dressed, costume, or how their appearance is?
No, the proposed rule changes, there's nothing in there that address presentation items or props. There's nothing that addresses any clothing or costumes. And there's nothing in the proposal that would bar anyone from having an opportunity to speak.
Is there anything in the proposal bar them having a visual if they want to bring in a piece of art or a graph or?
Not that I'm aware of, and these rule changes certainly wouldn't prohibit that.
Is there anything within the proposed rule changes which would regulate the content of speech? Meaning, if I want to come up and say James Freed is the biggest POS, worst city manager in the city of Port Huron history, and I think he should be fired, is there anything that would discriminate against content like that?
Yeah, so basically all of our changes are what they would call viewpoint neutral.
Okay.
We have had a long-standing rule against profanity, and one of the changes would be to further define that and spell out exactly what profanity is. So,
And the profanity concern is not necessarily just a free speech issue, but we have children who attend this meeting, and we also broadcast on an FCC-regulated cable channel for profanity as well, correct?
yeah, so the FCC bars profanity from being broadcast. So if you have profanity, then you're probably going to have to end your broadcast.
The sign-up sheet, which you have, is not 30 minutes before the meeting. You can actually sign up until the meeting begins. That's the way it's proposed. So if you come up until the meeting, the last thing Cindy will do is grab the sign-up sheet. So if you're early or right on time, that sheet will be there. Yeah, with that said, I'll let the council ask any questions of Mr. Shouty, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think it's important. I wanted to address some of the misnomers. We would never do some of the things that were said we were going to do tonight here. That was never in the rules. That was never in our proposal. Those are clearly egregious violations of free speech. I mean, we would never do that. So with that, we'll leave it up to.
Okay, all right, thank you. Council members, the floor is open. Any comments from any of the council members?
Yes, Mayor Ashford. I used to run a business downtown for my brother, the Root Juicery. I was down there for about a year before I was elected onto council. Now, mind you, I was living in the city, so this wouldn't have pertained to me to not be able to speak at the beginning, but if I didn't live in the city, I'm still somebody that works in the city. I'm not a business owner, so there were many things that I observed over the course of that year downtown that I feel that could have been beneficial for me to come up to council before I was elected, and perhaps sway the vote of the council members, and that has been the case for me sitting on this council. I am swayed at times, listening to the residents, listening to people that live outside of the city, but do spend their tax dollars in the city, or they are taxed because they work in the city. It has made a difference for me. So I take issue with this, and I feel that we've put this forth, or Mr. Freed has put this forth, without really considering the implications of this. I think we've done more research about whether or not we want chickens in the city, which I support, by the way. So I do not support this. I do think that you are muzzling some of the residents, and I would be more concerned about having everyone be able to speak at the beginning of the meeting when it pertains to the agenda, and then perhaps having people at the end of the meeting being less about whether or not you live here, or you do or don't live here, and having it be more about things that aren't on the consent agenda at the end, because I have been influenced by all of you, and I know that I've been influenced by some of you that do not live here. And also, we have to think about the situation of a housing crisis. There are many people that want to live within the city limits that haven't been able to. So I do not think this has been carefully thought through, and I do not support it.
All right, quiet down, okay? All right, it's all right. Just quiet down. We listen to you. We want you to listen to us. It's very important. It's a two-way street. Is there any more comments?
Mayor Ashford, I just want to clarify the timing as far as when you come into the meeting, when the doors open until the meeting actually starts, that's when you are allowed to sign up.
Yes, and this will require us to open up our doors earlier before the meetings.
Okay.
so people have more time to sign up.
And, a situation arises and they ran into traffic, but they really wanted to speak. Is there any leeway that they could sign up until maybe when public comment started or any?
We could certainly look at that. I would encourage people as well. Public comment is just one form of communication to the mayor and council. You have the ability to call them. Their email addresses are online, so you can email them before the meetings as well, written communications. Public comment is just one of many ways to communicate with their residents as well. Now, if you can't make it, there's nothing that prevents you from calling City Hall, and we can add you to the list.
And these are kind of like guidelines that we kind of looked at other cities, and this is what they've.
I'll defer that to Mr. Shouty.
Yeah, so I think the first city we looked to is the city of Troy. They actually have 3 public comment periods. The first one is for residents and business owners only on agenda items, and then later in the meeting, residents and business owners can speak on non-agenda items, and then right after that, they have non-residents have the opportunity to speak on agenda items or any other items, and that all takes place after the agenda is completed.
Thank you.
So, in a lot of the changes we have are very common throughout the state. I mean, there was some reference to Attorney General opinions in public comment, and our Attorney General had issued opinions very early on, like almost 50 years ago now, on this topic. They issued an opinion back in 1977 that said that the City Council has the right to set rules on public comment, and that includes the designation of the time for public participation during certain parts of the agenda, the requirement that speakers identify him or herself prior to speaking. They said public body in its discretion may determine through reasonable rules whether the public shall address the public body at the beginning, middle, or even the end of the meeting. If you go online right now, you can pull up the Michigan Attorney General's Open Meetings Act handbook. And in that one, it specifically says the board may establish a rule requiring individuals to identify themselves if they wish to speak at a meeting. Like if you're familiar with St. Clair County Board, they've had a sign-up requirement where people fill out cards and identify their names for a long time. I mean, ever since I've been working and helping the county, that's almost 20 years at this point in time. There was, it is true that Attorney General opinions are normally not binding on us, but when you don't have anything else, it is very common for municipalities to look to the Attorney General opinions. But as to the issue of signing up on cards, we don't need to just look to the Attorney General opinions, because in 2023, a unanimous panel of the Michigan Court of Appeals ruled that having sign-up cards prior to a meeting where people have to sign up to speak is consistent with the Open Meetings Act. So there's been a number of decisions. There was even a decision earlier this year where if you look at the statute, it says a person must be permitted to address a meeting of a public body under rules established and recorded by the public body. And so you're the public body, you get to establish the rules. But it uses the word address. And earlier this year, the Michigan Court of Appeals ruled that the word address actually means either speak or submit something in writing. You have rules that allow people to submit something in writing. So I'm not advocating that you take away or limit people to just written communications. In fact, the rule change we've proposed actually still allows anyone who wants to speak for 4 minutes, whether they're a resident of the city or not a resident of the city. I think one of the things you have to remember is that you're an elected body, but who has elected you. You have been elected by the residents of the city of Port Huron. You are the representatives of the people. So there is a difference between being a resident and not a resident. And I heard, comments during public comment suggesting that somehow it's unconstitutional to separate when somebody gets to speak. Well, there's actually published court decisions which have allowed public bodies such as yourself to exclude non-residents from speaking at a city council meeting. So this is not a First Amendment issue. In fact, we're still allowing, under these rules, everybody to have an opportunity to speak, even though under the First Amendment, we're not required to do so. We also have, as was pointed out, we have several ways that if people want to reach out to city council, they have multiple ways to do that. They have the ability, I believe all of your email addresses are available online and most of your telephone numbers are available so people can reach out to you. Our rules specifically permit people to submit something in writing. You don't need to, if you want your opinion heard, you can still submit something in writing. For example, if you can't attend, you can send it in. You can walk in here and ask, request to give something to city council. Now, as far as the issue of the sign-up, there's court decisions which have upheld a rule that you sign up 2 days in advance.
4 minutes is up.
In what you're talking about here.
Excuse me, Mr. Shouty, I just want to ask you just to respect us again, and we don't have 4 minutes. This is the council. We're doing business. We're conducting business on behalf of you all. Just want to make that clear. Okay? So you may continue.
Yeah, so on the sign-up provision, I think there was a question asked about that. So you're opening the doors 30 minutes beforehand to allow people to sign up, and then they sign up right until the start of the meeting. This city council always has the right, if there's someone else that they want to hear from, they can make a motion to do so or request permission of the chair for someone to speak, and the chair has the ability to recognize someone. Perhaps someone came late and they are somebody who council recognizes as someone who's impacted by an agenda item and they want to hear from them, they can ask the chair for permission to allow that person to speak. So all of those rules are in place. All of these are just designed to have an orderly meeting, and that's the point to rules. We do have some other changes in the rules that are largely cleanup issues, and really to codify some of our existing practices. I mean, we've required individuals for as long as I've been here to, when they step up to speak, to give their name and address. We've done that for years. So asking someone to sign up beforehand, I don't see as a significant change, and it's something that many, many municipalities require. Is there any other questions anyone had on any of these topics?
Yeah, Mr. Shouty, I guess we talked about this, about 3 or 4 months ago, about rule change as far as public audience and people. Do you remember that conversation, or you don't?
Which one?
The conversation about public audience, and I was talking about zero tolerance.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And you said that was unconstitutional or something. What was the reply? I don't remember.
No, I'm not sure what you're referring to, Mayor.
We were referring to the rules. I was questioning you about having a zero tolerance policy as far as personal, when people get to the podium and they make it personal.
Okay, yeah, so, I was proposing we've had these long-standing rules that address things such as personal. I thought we should be more specific, and what we really mean by personal is something unrelated to the city.
Right.
So if somebody wants to get up and, to use Mr. Freed's example, and criticize Mr. Freed in some way, since he's a city employee, that would be something pertaining to the city.
Okay.
So that would be allowed, and I thought we should just tweak that and clarify it a little bit to make sure that when we say you know, we're barring any type of attack. We're talking about some type of attack unrelated to the city.
And I see you were able to implement that within the new rule change?
Yes,
That language?
it's in there. And the other thing, Mayor, that you often ask people to address their comments to you or the council and not to the audience, that's a very common rule as well. We've had that de facto rule, and I thought we should put that in specifically because I think it's a well-recognized rule to maintain order, because if people don't direct their comments to city council and direct them to somebody in the audience, then very often that leads to some disruption.
Oh, okay. Mayor Ashford, if I may?
Yes.
Yeah, respectfully, Mr. Shouty, seeing as I am an elected official, I was elected by the people. And even if you didn't vote for me, I'm still here to represent you. I serve at the pleasure of the residents, not Mr. Freed. And I will say that it doesn't really matter what any of us think up here at this point. It's what you want. We are here to represent your will. So I am hearing from you that you do not want this law, or that you do not want this passed, and that I would say if we do want to move forward with this, I think that we need to change the language of it. There are some things that I very much support. I understand what you're saying about some of the things that you want to implement into this. But I do not think we should move forward with this at this point. I am hearing from the residents who, I was on the phone all day today because residents were calling me upset about this. So honestly, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the residents that I represent think. They don't want this.
Mayor Ashford?
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Did you want to say, I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Ashford. I want to piggyback first on what Councilmember Payton said the first time she spoke about evaluating the input of those that are non-residents. There have been times when I have been swayed by input and actually sought out input from non-residents. But at that same time, who we all talk to and the different residents, I hear different things. So Councilmember Payton is telling us that she's been on the phone all day and had conversations repeatedly with many residents who do not want this. I've had the exact opposite. I have heard from non-residents, all who, by the way, were very polite, and I really appreciated the back and forth and their input. But the majority of the people that I heard from were residents who say, you should have done this a long time ago, and I really support this. And the reason isn't because we don't want to hear from non-residents or they don't want to hear from the non-residents. I have been up here way too long. 16 years this week that I have been sitting on council. In the beginning of that, hardly anyone spoke. And it's wonderful to see so many people come out and speak at public comment. However, in the last 3 to 4 years, the majority of the people that speak are non-residents. That's fine. Love to hear from you as well. But what I've been hearing from residents are they don't feel comfortable. They don't feel comfortable coming here and speaking. They're afraid to get up and talk. They're afraid to bring their children because of the language and the behavior. Not because you're dressed as a clown or somebody brings a prop. That's all fine. Nobody's trying to put a stop to any of that. But those are the people that are reaching out to me. So I believe there's a lot of both, right? There's a lot of residents that probably aren't in support of this, but there are also a lot of residents that are in support, and those are the ones that happen to reach out to me outside of being in this room today. I did hear from one resident in writing that I did respond to. Everyone else that I heard from in writing was a non-resident, and everyone else that I spoke to, either by phone or in person, were residents saying, I support this. Let's at least give it a try. We can always change it back. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Madam Mayor, first off, I'd just like to say thank you, Shouty, for the clarification, because as I read it, you know, it wasn't going as far as some of what the public comment, so I do appreciate that as far as not taking away people's time or, you know, what they dress or anything like that. So thank you for that clarification. The next part that I was definitely for is somehow streamlining the order or the flow of the meeting, for the simple fact of going from you know, a city issue to peace in the Middle East. The flow just goes, you know, a little different. So that's what I was for as far as changing. And kind kind of listened to Councilmember Payton here. I just, as far as the part of hearing feedback and then being able to vote accordingly, that kind of struck with me. So I'm, for that reason, I'm for parts of it, and I'm not for other parts. So with that, that's where I'll be. So I can't, if I'm not fully for all of it.
Okay, anyone else? Bob, you have any words? Or?
Mayor Ashford, thanks. I did have a statement that I wrote that I was going to read, but Todd has covered and James has covered. I couldn't agree with Mayor Pro Tem Archibald more. We're not trying to take away anybody's rights or how you dress or when you get to speak. It's not taking away your freedom of speech. Everybody will get a chance to speak. I've often, several times, reached out to Mayor Ashford. In my first 4 years here, we never had the outburst of clapping and applauding and yelling and people rudely disrespecting our city attorney and our city manager and our mayor when they're speaking, an outburst. There has to be some decorum here that needs to go into place, and this is where we start. Rules can be changed, we can make amendments to it later down, but I will be fully supporting this in the way that it's written right now. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Morris. Yeah, excuse me.
You can bang the gavel.
Excuse me again. Okay, I think we have a letter from Councilmember Pemberton that would like to be read for the record.
Fellow members of the Port Huron City Council, I regret that I am unable to attend this evening's meeting as my family will be out of state for my daughter's surgery. However, I'd like to formally express my support for the proposed amendment to the City Council Rules of Procedures concerning the structure of public comment. The intent behind this change is simple and reasonable. We need to prioritize the voices of those who live, work, and invest within our city while maintaining full transparency and openness to all who wish to be heard. The revised format ensures that Port Huron residents and business owners who are directly impacted by our ordinances, tax policies, and day-to-day decisions have their opportunity to speak at the beginning of the meeting when intention and engagement are at their highest. Non-residents would continue to retain their right to speak at the conclusion of the agenda, ensuring inclusivity without diminishing the focus of local governance. Over the past year, the public comment period of our meetings has increasingly been overtaken by individuals who do not live in Port Huron and who often use public comment to discuss issues outside the scope of city business. In many cases, these appearances have been more about performance than participation, creating unnecessary distractions and making it harder for our residents to share legitimate concerns about local matters. I've spoken with residents who have stopped attending altogether, frustrated that their voices get lost in the noise. This is not the kind of public engagement we should be encouraging. As City Manager Freed articulated, this adjustment is not about exclusion, but about balance and fairness. It respects the time and interest of our residents, many of whom intend to engage in matters that affect their neighborhoods and quality of life, but often lose patience or leave before those discussions begin. Structuring comment periods this way will keep our meetings more relevant, productive, and reflective of the people we were elected to represent. Furthermore, as confirmed by City Attorney Todd Schauty, the proposed rules comply fully with both the Open Meetings Act and the constitutionally free speech protections. Many municipalities across Michigan, including St. Clair County, use similar sign-up process and differentiate comment periods. These practices have been upheld repeatedly by the courts as fair, legal, and effective methods for ensuring orderly public participation. In short, this rule change simply restores order, relevance, and fairness to our public process. It ensures that Port Huron residents remain at the center of Port Huron's civic dialogue, exactly as it should be. Respectfully submitted, Jeffrey Pemberton.
I'm a resident. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Disagree.
Mayor, point of order. You know what, the next one, I have an outburst. Chief, I'd like you to usher them out. Okay, if you have an outburst. Now, we're very serious about what we do. You know, I don't want to, tell anybody you have to leave or anything, but we are trying to conduct business. And you had your turn, as I said before. And I'm not going to say it again because you have my directive to, escort them out. So thank you for, okay, thank you for coming. Okay, well, it seems like everybody has spoken but myself here. Actually, when this came before me, when I got it in the email, I didn't exactly know what precipitated it in the first place, why we had to have this change. I didn't know whether it was the same, to save time or what. But I did have a uncomfortable feeling, because when I got to the part where they said the them and us, I'm a minority. And I've been living with isism for a long time, so I know that difference. And I did note, and I read it very careful, that you still could talk in the front of the public audience, and you could talk in the back. So it wasn't so much about freedom of speech to me, but it was about the division that we were causing. It almost read as though we were doing more harm than good. Now, everybody else is up here on something else, and if it was to save time, we have actually added to our agenda. If you remember that, we added the administrative report, we added the comments, so it wasn't that you were going so long, but I think it's very important that you listen to the people. It's about people. It's not about us up here. You elected us to represent you. Okay? And maybe some people come up here, it just grind me to no end when the F-bomb, all that kind of stuff. But like he said, we can't, because of freedom of speech. You're protected. And I wish you wouldn't do that, but so my wishes is not what it's all about, but it's about that person out there that I'm representing. If they want to choose to do that, that's on you. If you want to look like that and your vocabulary is that short and you have to reach out for those swear words, that's you. But you have to have a thick enough skin to be a politician these days, and it doesn't have to do with what we want. We have to keep it real in terms of respecting and standing here for you, and you don't get to do what all you want to do because you want to do it. And there are rules and regulations, and there's loopholes and what all that, and just because somebody else do it, one size don't fit all. And I've talked to a lot of mayors about this. I've been talking to them, and that's why I made the point that I've been there before this. But when I got to that part of the them and the us kind of thing, that don't sound like inclusion to me. And and at the end of the day, what difference is it going to make if everybody's speaking, whether it was behind or first or whatever? You're speaking. You're speaking. So it's just a bottom line, and it just felt like some kind of other agenda item that's in there somewhere, And I'm not going to rack my brains trying to figure it out, but I know when I don't get a good feeling about this, it just won't pass the litmus test. So I will be voting no. I'll be voting no for the simple reason that I'm not into these isms. I'm into bringing people together, not apart. It doesn't have to do anything with the climate or anything. You look like whatever you want to look like. You know what? Be what you want, and you bring it here. And it's up to us to kind of educate ourselves and represent you in such a way that you know, that you hear, that we do care about that. It may sound bougie, but it's not. We just have to be tougher than that. I didn't run for office because we're going to go out and have a tea party. You might not like some of the stuff I don't say, and you tell me. They tell me. So, I'm just not going to do this. I'm not going to sit here and just because somebody is uncomfortable and you don't like something, and we have the authority, it's like me, you have that, and you're going to abuse it. I'm not getting ready to abuse my role here as mayor. That's a title, but I'm Anita Ashford. I got integrity. And you know when you're doing something that is not within the right. You can do the right thing, but you got to do the right thing in order to make sure the right thing is such as that. It's the right thing. And no, ethically, it is not right for me to say that we want to, take all this name. It wasn't even broken. I'm looking for the pieces. And when you got to try this hard to pick something up, it's too much work in that. Because you know what? It's later than we think. We keep doing this to the people, and no wonder you feel like half of you felt. And some of your stories were kind of half off the mark there, but what else did you have to work with? Because obviously, we're sending that kind of a message. But I want to send you the message tonight that it's about you, it always will be about you. And we have laws that we have to adhere to as your city council, and we need to do that. We're elected. It's different between elected and appointed. When you're elected, you have an obligation to do what's right. So with that, I just want to thank everybody that spoke tonight and everything, and it's what it is. It's just, you just can't keep, throwing in all these changes just because you want to change because something don't fit you. It's not like that. We are a city, you're resilient, you're unique, you're amazing. I don't care where you come from. I don't care how much money you got, what color you are. We're all in this together. We are all in this together. And we can't keep going, gravitating your city council and just doing things because we don't want to do it. We don't want to see this or we don't want to see that. So with that, call the roll.
Would you like me to explain this here?
Explain. Oh, yeah, we do have an explanation point here as to the consequences. When we vote tonight, what is the next step? Where does it go? What happens? So you may do that.
So all amendments to your rules and procedures, they shall not be finally passed at the same meeting at which they are introduced. So tonight, this is a resolution to consider postponement for final consideration at your next regular scheduled meeting.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Payton?
No.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremsa?
Am I able to make a comment before I vote, or just vote?
No, vote.
No.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
No. The motion has failed. So you have it. So the next meeting, that's when that takes effect. Is that correct?
No, it has failed, so we
it
did
failed.
not vote to postpone it.
Oh, okay. So with that, we still have an announcement. Our city offices will be closed November the 11th in observance of Veterans Day. And I would like to make two comments here. I'd like to thank the YMCA, and particularly they had on I think it was on the 6th where the SNAP program, I call it the SNAP Gap. We had a lot of volunteers from the city of Port Huron out there, and Josh Chapman, they did an absolute fantastic job with making sure people had food that they could get. They had 1,365 individuals that they served, and out of that, it was 418 households, and plus more that couldn't get there. They actually were directed to the Port of Hope to get food. See, that's what I'm telling you. We're all in this together. They were hungry. We had people there, and I witnessed it because they were working in the rain. The rain didn't bother them. We had smiling faces, and that's what we want to see. That's, what you have problems on this end, and you have other things, but happiness, but just try to bring it together, and that's what makes us work. That's the kindness that proclamation we were talking about. So I want to really give Josh, a really, really round of applause because he led that challenge, and and also Marika Vitro, she's the food program senior director over at the YMCA. And they just do it not to say, see what I've done. They just did it because it's just what they do, from the heart. So that was a big thing. And then the NAACP held their conference here this past weekend, and it was phenomenal. I think we have, thank you, I think Yes, she was there. But anyway, that was phenomenal. And then also we had the touch tennis, Dr. Cotton. So I like to take my hats off to him because they did a fantastic job of bringing things here in our community, making a difference, you know, because they care and they want to make sure that Port Huron stand tall. So, and this actually is my year anniversary. I know people thought I would have evaporated by now, but I'm here. I'm here by the grace of God, and also there have been challenges, and you know they have, but there are challenges, but they're taking care. I got somebody up there that's looking out. So I'm covered, and don't worry about a thing. I'm gonna keep on moving for our city, the city of Port Huron. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn. Thank you, and God bless you.
16 years, you must be insane.
I am.